Hey guys, it's me Kritika Rodgi, 6th Cell Civil Department. So today my topic is on sodium aluminate as coagulant. So you need to understand briefly what is coagulant, coagulation process and sodium aluminate as coagulant. So by hearing these many topics you may have got many of the questions, but you will end up to only 3 questions, that is why, what and how. Why we need this process, what is this process and how this process works. So let me answer to your first question, why we need this process. This is totally depend on your daily basis. When the water moves out from your sewer pipes, what happens next? It goes for the treatment, where if the treatment is not done, then there will be problem rises due to the scarcity of the water. To avoid this, we need treatment. When the wastewater comes from your sewage pipe, it consists of many impurities. When the impurities is large in size, due to its weight, it settles down at the bottom. If the minute size of the particles are present, and it will flow with the water. It is not possible to remove. It is impossible to remove evenly when the water is flowing. So if I go on telling you the theory, you will not understand a bit. So let me show you the experiment. Let me show you the materials I have used for this experiment is test tube, water and some mud. So here I am going to show you how this coagulation process takes place. So I am showing you the first test tube over here. Here it is totally, I have prepared for making it the wastewater. Here you can see the large suspended particles are settled at the bottom due to their weight, increase in weight. So the minute particles are still with the water. This cannot be removed. So how this can be removed? By increasing or enlarging them by increasing their weight, so that they settle down at the bottom of the test tube. How this can be possible? It is possible by using chemical compounds mixing with these minute particles. It enlarges these particles and make them to settle at the bottom of the test tube. I have prepared this test tube wastewater and have kept in another test tube with the addition of the mixture of chemical compounds that you can see over here. All the suspended particles are settled at the bottom of the test tube, where I have added the chemical compound that is sodium aluminate to this, where the minute particles enlarges itself and the weight increases. So due to their weight increases, they settle at the bottom of the test tube. Due to this, we can remove these suspended particles out from the wastewater. This is how the experiment I have conducted to show you easy way how to understand in which way chemical compounds act. These chemical compounds act is called as coagulants. These chemical compounds we are adding to this wastewater to remove these minute particles is called as coagulants. After seeing this experiment, you got to know how the chemical compounds are used. These chemical compounds used are called as coagulants. So you now know what is coagulant. Then let me come to the second question. What is coagulation process? This is the adding and mixing of the chemicals. That is coagulant is called as coagulation process. So easily I have explained you this coagulation process and coagulants. So let me come to my actual topic, that is sodium aluminate as coagulant. So sodium aluminate is a type of the coagulant, where Na2Al2O4 is a sodium aluminate. So now sodium aluminate is in the crystalline solid which looks alike salt, which is in white color. So what happens when it mixes with the water or the raw water? It reacts with the salts of the magnesium, calcium. So what happens next? When it reacts with the salts of the calcium and magnesium, it forms precipitates of the magnesium and calcium aluminate. So if you understand the reactions, how this sodium aluminate is reacted with the salts of magnesium and calcium aluminate. So here are the reactions I am going to show you on my screen.
Let me discuss the reactions when sodium aluminate is mixed with raw water. So you can see the first reaction on my screen. Na2Al2O4 is sodium aluminate, which reacts with calcium bicarbonate, which gives precipitates, where CaAl2O4 is calcium aluminate, Na2CO3 is sodium carbonate, and CO2 is carbon dioxide, H2 as water. So now second reaction, sodium aluminate which reacts with calcium chloride gives us calcium aluminate and sodium chloride. Further, third reaction, Na2Al2O4 sodium aluminate which reacts with calcium sulfate gives us calcium aluminate and sodium sulfate. So these reactions forms when sodium aluminate is mixed with water, which gives us precipitate of calcium or magnesium aluminate.
After going through these reactions, you got to know how the precipitates are formed. So now, sodium aluminate is expensive compared to the all kind of coagulants such as alum, etc. So this is used in very rare occasions, situations or locations. So in which kind of conditions it is used, I am going to explain you. First one, when the water doesn't have alkalinity, so this cannot be treated with the help of pure alum. So in those conditions, this kind of sodium aluminate coagulant is used. Further, it reduces hardness permanently and temporarily in the raw water. So what happens? Boiled feed water requires low value of the hardness. So this kind of coagulant is used there. This sodium aluminate is active in the region of pH 6 to 8.5. So in that region, this is available only in the water. So I have explained you detailed the way of sodium aluminate. So here you got to understand what is coagulation process, and sodium aluminate as the coagulants. Coagulants is the chemical which is used to attract the minor particles and make them to settle at the bottom of the tank to remove those particles. So stay safe, stay home. Thank you.